Time in Milwaukee, as you saw play out right here on Fox 5, Ohio Senator JD Vance officially accepting the vice presidential nomination at the Republican National Convention.
Now, I think our disagreements actually make us stronger. That's what I've learned in my time in the United States Senate, where sometimes I persuade my colleagues and sometimes they persuade me. And my message to my fellow Americans, those watching from across the country, is shouldn't we be governed by a party that is unafraid to debate ideas and come to the best solution?
Oh, Vance is a new face to politics. He ran for Senate in 2022, just taking office last year. Tom Fitzgerald is live at the RNC once again tonight. We were watching that speech out there, and it looks like those delegates really held on to his words.
They ate it up, Jim. You know, it was clear on Monday when Donald Trump announced that JD Vance was going to be his running mate that this was a wildly popular suggestion amongst the GOP candidates gathered here in Milwaukee. But when JD Vance took that stage tonight, you know, this might be the most unique vice presidential address we've ever seen. Very often, these kinds of speeches by the second place person on the ticket is more focused on the top of the ticket. You know, there was a lot in this speech about Donald Trump tonight, but there was a whole heck of a lot in this speech tonight about JD Vance, trying to introduce him to the country. It was autobiographical at times, it was humorous at times, it was, you know, somewhat sad at times as he recounted his upbringing in both Ohio and Appalachia and some of the addiction situations that his family has faced. This was heavy on credentials with the conservative wing of this party, but there was also stuff in here, Jim, that was designed to reach out the halls of the Fiserv Forum tonight in Milwaukee and try to convince some of those people who maybe haven't made up their mind about Donald Trump at this point that somebody like JD Vance, who came from a part of the country that he did, can look across to New York City and see somebody like Donald Trump and make a connection with him.
So a lot has been said over the last couple of days, Fitz, about some of the things JD Vance has said in the past about Donald Trump. He called himself a never-Trumper. He had other things to say, other more colorful descriptions for the former president when he was a candidate at various points. Democrats are seizing upon this opportunity already.
Yeah, and, you know, some of those things JD Vance said when he was a never-Trumper, you know, were quite strong. At one point, he opined that Donald Trump might be an American Hitler. So, you know, he didn't pull any punches, you know, when he was on that side of the questions about whether or not, you know, Donald Trump would be a good leader for the United States. Clearly, he has come a full 360 on that. One of the things the Republicans have been trying to do this week, both in person and on the stage here, Jim, is bring these former opponents of President Donald Trump and his presidency to this stage and have them kind of recount why they have now come around to a completely different way of thinking about him. It boils down that there does seem to be a theme in everything that they're saying, that given the choice between another Trump presidency and the continuation of the Biden presidency, they say they would rather return to having Trump in the White House than Biden.
And tomorrow night, it is Donald Trump's turn to speak on the final night of the RNC. We will have that live. Fitz will have, we'll hear all the reaction from you as well as we continue to check in with you in Milwaukee. Tom Fitzgerald for us tonight live. Thanks, Fitz.